I would consider Eggy one of the most hated BFDI contestants and probably one of the most controversial BFDI contestants, considering the fact there are hour-long videos made defending Eggy. But why is Eggy so hated by most of the fans of BFDI? Well, I watched every single clip of Eggy ever being on BFDI, and here's my consensus on why Eggy is the most hated BFDI character of all time. One of the reasoning I believe Eggy is so hated is the lack of screen time Eggy gets. In BFB, she only has around 14 minutes of screen time, and TPOT, it's about the same, maybe a little less. And Eggy just has a lot less good moments and a lot more bad moments in the show that people could hate on her for. A lot of people call it to her first scene with Teardrop and Lollipop when she was trying to get Teardrop to talk to her about her experience not talking, but again, she lashed out on Teardrop, and that probably made a lot of people not like Eggy to begin with in the show. And then her lashing out on Team Losers, which almost led to her elimination, but Loser ended up being eliminated because he was such a big character in the show, and I guess people just got sick of him. Even though Eggy apologized for both of these things, again, those moments are going to shine out to fans way more than the apologetic moments, and Eggy has never really had any good redeeming scenes that didn't have to come from a negative scene. The second reason I believe why Eggy is so hated is because of her lack of challenge participation. If you watch her in all the episodes I've seen, I don't think I've ever seen her truly help or make her team win in any of her episodes. And that is the main reason I believe she was eliminated from TPOT, because the way to stay in TPOT is participating and helping in challenges. And you can be in the show and be a likable character, but if you don't participate in challenges, you can get eliminated, like characters like Fries, Puffball, and Corny, who are pretty big fan favorites but didn't participate in challenges, which led to their elimination. And it's kind of go back to square one, where again, she doesn't have any redeeming scenes. Like she doesn't help in challenges, and she doesn't really help out other people, and she doesn't really have that many friends on the show either. And I feel like help characters or like friendships and dynamics with characters can help another character a lot, way more. Like Puffball and Golf Ball, or Golf Ball and Tennis Ball. I feel like those two bounce off each other well, which gives them more fans. But Eggy has no character to really bounce off of, because Eggy doesn't really have any friends in the show that are like prominent. And she's also never really been a big part of any single storyline in the show that's like major. She's kind of just there for most of it. And again, like if you're not really a big part of the show, people aren't going to like you if you don't do anything good. I believe the number one main reason why Eggy is so hated is because of her personality. Her personality is very snarky and rude and can be very arrogant and entitled, and obviously people are not going to like that. But people like way more evil characters than Eggy, because Eggy's arrogance and entitlement is just pure annoying and adds no value to the show. And the fact she acts like this and there's no comedic value coming from it, and she's not really providing to the story at all, makes her way more unlikable. Like characters like Lollipop at least have some value to the story and can be funny at times, and that's why Lollipop was so loved in BFB post-split. But Eggy is just not really liked at all, by most fans at least. Do I think Eggy is a poorly written character? No, I think this is Eggy's purpose to be on the show. I think she's just still supposed to be arrogant, entitled, and she's not a very liked character. I believe she's one of the better written characters. Actually, I don't know if I'd say better written, but she is a well-written character for what she's worth. But I'm not one of those people that thinks Eggy is the worst character on BFDI. I think she's very far from it. There are a lot of good qualities that Eggy does offer in her personality that people kind of look past. I believe she is a smart character and probably one of the most realistic characters personality-wise, knowing that everything isn't just sunshine and rainbows, and also trying to help her team win with strategies. But again, she doesn't really do anything physically-wise to help in challenges, but that's besides the point. And I feel like her being on the more rude side definitely does help her realism and makes her feel like more of a realistic character. And there has to be some rude characters in the show. They can't all just be super nice or super evil. But I feel like people just look past that and just only see her actions and rate her off of that. And they believe she's the worst character in BFDI, which I believe there are way worse characters in BFDI than Eggy. I can see people don't like Eggy. People might find her too rude. But again, she's definitely not the worst character in the show. I mean, I'm not like a super big fan of Eggy, but again, I can see why people love her and I can see why people don't like her.